Go up there, go up there, yep. Go up there,
This little cookie crumb was born May 30th, 2001. It wasn't actually that little. My mom said I was so big I came around. So I guess the name cookie matches me well. You guys all know me as a cookie god, but my real name isn't that cool. It's actually very boring. My real name is... That's it. I once asked my mom how she came up with my name, and she said it was the first word she saw after opening a book. Nice. That's nice. I grew up in a decently small city called Edmonton in Canada with my mom, dad, and brother who is 4 years older than I am. Contrary to popular belief, because of my voice, I am not white, black, or a big brawling dude named Brad. I am actually Asian and quite small. Yup, I'm as yellow as the sun and the size of a bean. My mom and dad are originally from China, and we grew up poor. My uncle came to Canada on a small boat that actually flipped over in the middle of the many people were on. Luckily, he survived and made it to Canada. My uncle then worked very hard to fly my parents to Canada, where they had me. Unfortunately, though, both my parents had to leave their families behind.
Link.
To be honest, I don't remember much as a baby, but
Henry becomes
always tells me about our first house that we grew up in. She believed it was haunted by ghosts. One night she was cooking dinner in the kitchen, and my brother, who was 4 years old at the time, started screaming that there was a ghost behind my mom. Suddenly, out of nowhere, my mom said my brother started getting choked out and became very pale. So she grabbed the closest knife that she can find, and she started chopping up the air like Ramsay. Once she put the knife down, she said there was blood on it. I don't know if this story is true. She might have just accidentally sliced my brother, but there were also stories of things being dragged across the basement floor and other spooky things. Turns out that the previous owner of her house was actually murdered by the next door neighbor. That neighbor's house was demolished. So yeah, we eventually got the hell out of there by the time I was 4 years old. My mom and dad did not know to speak English, so they were stuck working multiple jobs, cleaning hotel rooms, working in factories, and in Chinese restaurants. I rarely got to see my dad because he worked 12 hours a day, 7 days a week, even till this very day. So they didn't make a lot of money, meaning I didn't get to play any sports, go on any family trips, or even celebrate Christmas as a kid. My mom would just wrap up empty boxes as presents and put them under the tree, so it felt like Christmas. We were always disappointed unboxing air. I also remember during Halloween, my brother and I would stare out the window all night watching kids get candy while waiting for my mom to return from work. She'd finally come home from work at 9 p.m. and we'd beg her to take us trick-or-treating, but unfortunately, it was too late and she was exhausted. However, things weren't always so bad. When I was around 7 years old, my uncle would always bring home old computers from work. So my brother and I would spend all day playing random games on the internet. I was so glued onto my computer that my mom would take away my monitor and hide it. I would cry, but I always ended up finding it in her closet and continued gaming all night long. I just put it back before she waked up in the morning. Yeah, I was a pretty naughty kid. My mom put me in a Chinese elementary school, so all of my friends were little geniuses. Majority of them ended up going to university to become engineers, dentists, and nurses. I couldn't even get into university. The point is, I was the only certified dumbass who was a class clown and would never do my homework or pay attention to anything. I would mainly get C's on my report card, and the only A I got was in gym class, because all I had to do was show up. On top of my bad grades and terrible effort, I also didn't listen to my parents much, which led to my ass getting whooped. I remember my mom would grab clothes hangers out of the closet and beat me until they snapped in half. And she just pulled another one right out of her back pockets. Felt like she had unlimited ammo. I remember my mom would open the door and literally try...
Wait.
me out of the house. I pulled out the deer knife, just gripping the house as hard as I could so I don't get thrown out. I'm not gonna lie, this scarred me. I would go to bed those nights with my house keys tied around my hand just in case I would go on the streets. My experience as a child came back to haunt me. My most disappointing of my life. But I'll get to that soon. Around the same time, all this happened, my brother introduced me to this game called Common Arms.
Oh, it's
where it was impossible. But there was one YouTuber out there who posted more talk about his game. His name was a Tasty Cookie. This is where my name originated from. I luckily never really got bullied in my life, but in grade 5, a friend at the time pushed me down during recess and I ended up fracturing my collarbone. Which put my
Friendly
arm in a
zombies.
cast for a while. I was devastated that I couldn't play Combat Arms anymore. But I met my friend inside my cast and I thought I was so cool walking around with a moldy cheese smelling cast that I never ever lost. Once my arm healed, I actually became
Because of
I was on my revenge arc after my Combat Arms professional career was ruined. I was friends with everybody in my class, but there were a few crybabies that would cry even if the grass was cut too short or something. Point is, they'd cry about anything. So I got fed up one day mission was successful, and I luckily never got in trouble because before they would tell the teacher, I'd just crack a joke and make them laugh so they forgot about the horrendous things I've just done to them. Comedy was my get out of jail free card. Don't worry, I'm still friends with these guys till this day. We're good. Maybe this energy impressed girls or something because I had my first ever girlfriend when I was 11. All we ever did was sit beside each other on the bus, but yeah, all my friends thought I was so cool. I even dated a girl a grade above us, and that was when my life peaked in swagness. By the time I was 12 years old, my brother introduced me to a brand new game called Minecraft, and obviously I fell in love with it. I had to come up with a username, and I was so inspired by the YouTuber A Tasty Cookie that I named my first Minecraft account a Sweet Cookie. I started playing this survival server called Empire Minecraft with my brother and a few cousins. However, I eventually got banned for X-raying. Classic. I was so addicted that I ran over to the nearest gas station to pick up a prepaid card so I can buy a new Minecraft account and play again. I had to come up with a new name and I loved cookies. I also didn't want to get caught for ban evading, so my cousins and I came up with a unique, unrelated name. We came up with a cookie god, completely unrecognizable from a sweet cookie. I'll just say we weren't the smartest 12-year-olds. People on the server suspected that it was me and tried getting me banned again, but the mods didn't care, so that became my main account. I started to love building structures in Minecraft to where I'd build giant lobbies and maps for servers and get paid real money. That is when I upgraded my computer and started making my first YouTube videos on various servers from 2013 to around
No, that's not
this was when my
right.
dream of becoming a YouTuber started. In middle school, the second class ended, I would run to catch the earliest bus so I can get home as fast as I could to play
But
Minecraft
that's
all
your
day.
kind.
I was also very lucky that all of my friends
Leave.
went to the same middle school as me, so I was never short on friends. The only problem was we were never in the same classes. They were all in the smart class called pre-AP, and I was in the normal classes, the dumb class. So I had to make new friends. Turns out one of those new friends was actually my neighbor that lived directly across the street from me. So we bust the school together, fight together,
It's only
hang
by
out at each other's
7.
houses playing video games all day. It was so much fun. The only class I had with my day one friends was Chinese class. You might be thinking, I must have matured as I've gotten older. Nope, I was still even more nutty and reckless. I remember I personally picked fights and argued with our Chinese teacher just to argue. I talked back all the time and sometimes even yell at him for some entertainment. Now I see why I failed this class every single year. But my parents never knew. Remember how I told you my brother started teaching me how to edit and everything? Well, I learned how to use Photoshop, so before I showed my parents my report card, I would scan it, change my F to a respectful B minus, and reprint it. Thinking back, that was genius of me, but please don't.
Do it. That's do it.
Kids. By this time, my parents kind of given up on me. So, I wouldn't listen, I did terrible at school, and always get calls from the teacher talking about my bad behavior, and it felt like they were more proud of my brother. Anyways, once I turned 14, I started getting pimples, and not the normal kind. My face was a literal double pepperoni pizza. I had that bad genetic acne that my brother, mom, and dad all had. It was terrible. I still have acne scars till this very day on my face. But we went to the doctor and he put me on a medication called Accutane, which we were told was fairly dangerous, but we tried everything else and this was our last resort. It worked magic. My face cleared up instantly, but I had terrible side effects. My knees hurt, everything was dry, and the worst part, I was depressed. I never felt this way before, but I hated being home, so I stopped gaming altogether, and I just didn't want to talk to anybody. But that was when I met this girl. We'll call her A. She was beautiful. She was basically one of the only white girls in the school, so almost every guy had their eyes on her. But I somehow won the battle and we started hanging out whenever we could. She was in the smart class though, so I'd literally wake up at 6:45 in the morning every day to catch a bus at 7. I wouldn't brush my teeth or eat breakfast. I'd grab my bag and run to the beach just so I can have as much time with her as possible before class started. I also found out that she would stay after school for an hour waiting to get picked up by her dad, so I stayed after school as well instead of busing home right after class, cause I was in love. We'd flirt in the park and we'd even call each other on the phone every night. It was amazing. Since I started staying after school, I also reunited with my best friend in elementary. We drifted apart and separated into different classes, but he got me into playing basketball. This was my first ever sport or hobby outside of gaming, and I loved it. Shooting a round orange ball into a metal hoop in the middle of a beautiful summer day was just so common to me. So after A got picked up, we would stay outside playing ball till the sunset. I remember we'd be so thirsty, so we'd walk to the grocery store every day and chug a gallon of pop. All of this cheered me up and lifted me out of my sadness. And I still believe